$26,000 deal.
Ooh, 30K deal, baby.
Over $1 million closed.
It's not about following me. It's more than just learning from me. It's about taking massive action.
This is Dan Locke. We are going to talk about how to easily live the half-hour workday with this new high-income skill without talking to anyone on the phone, getting another degree, going back to school, or ruining your reputation with your friends and family. During our time together, I'm going to share with you why the job economy is dead and how we are now transitioning to what I call the skill economy. We're going to talk about what that means in just a moment. And I know it seems a little dramatic, but stay with me to see why this is important for you, for your family, and your financial future. First, let me ask you a question. Would you like to learn how to earn large monthly checks with nothing more than a computer and a specialized skill, without having to go back to school, without getting a degree? See, so many people think the key to success is going back to school and getting another degree, even though the first degree didn't create the success they were promised in the beginning. And without having to drag your family and friends into some business opportunity. I remember I tried MLM business in my teenage years, and shortly after that, I joined the NFL club. You know what I'm talking about? No friends left. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Put in the chat. When you stay till the end of this training, I want you to walk away with something worth of value. You're also going to get some gifts from me that you can have immediate access to. Gift number one, I'm going to give you the Wealth Triangle video. How to do it.
Insomma, كنا أبو أم ده فيديو.
Boom!
$26,000 deal.
Ooh, 30K deal, baby.
Over $1 million closed.
It's not about following me. It's more than just learning from me. It's about taking massive action.
This is Dan Locke. We are going to talk about how to easily live the half-hour workday with this new high-income skill without talking to anyone on the phone, getting another degree, going back to school, or ruining your reputation with your friends and family. During our time together, I'm going to share with you why the job economy is dead and how we are now transitioning to what I call the skill economy. We're going to talk about what that means in just a moment. And I know it seems a little dramatic, but stay with me and you'll see why this is important for you, for your family, and your financial future. First, let me ask you a question. Would you like to learn how to earn large monthly checks with nothing more than a computer and a specialized skill, without having to go back to school, without getting a degree? See, so many people think the key to success is going back to school and getting another degree, even though the first degree didn't create the success they were promised in the beginning. And without having to drag your family and friends into some business opportunity. I remember I tried MLM business in my teenage years, and shortly after that, I joined the NFL club. You know what I'm talking about? No friends left. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Put in the chat. When you stay to the end of this training, I want you to walk away with something worth of value. You're also going to get some gifts from me that you could have immediate access to. Gift number one, I'm going to give you the Wealth Triangle video, how to develop unstoppable financial confidence. Number two, I'm also going to give you FU Money, my book. Make as much money as you damn well want and live your life as you damn well please, which sells on Amazon for $12. Or if you prefer listening instead of reading, I've also got you covered. You'll get the FU Money audiobook as well, so you could listen to this when you are working out or walking or doing other things. Now it sells on Audible for $13. Who likes free gifts? Put in the chat. Who wants them? Say, I want them. I'll reveal to you one of the most powerful ways to create an income with no ceiling and live the life you've always dreamed of. All of us know how to create income, but very few people know how to create income with no ceiling. So the only ceiling you'll have is the ceiling that you put on it. How many of you like that idea? The idea of income with no ceiling. Type in the chat, say, I do. First, a disclaimer. You must understand, our results are not typical, and the average person who attends trainings like these never take any action on what they learn, and therefore get zero results. Your results will vary and depend on so many factors, including but not limited to your background, experience, and work ethic. Let me just say this. Anyone who tells you they can guarantee you're going to make X amount of dollars in a business opportunity, one or two things are true about that person. Number one, they're either very dishonest, or number two, they just don't understand how life works. Because you cannot guarantee the results of people that you don't know, because you don't know what they're going to do. Now, I know I'm going to do everything within my power to reveal the secrets that transform my life. We're about to dive into some powerful secrets. I want your attention. I demand your attention. Listen closely. What you're about to learn are some of the most important things you'll ever learn in your life. I don't say that lightly. So pay close attention. Don't be distracted. Turn off everything that might distract you. In order for you to get the most out of this training, turn off Facebook. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Go into a quiet room. Give yourself the gift. Give your full attention to this training. I'm going to give you a few seconds to do. By the way, how many of you follow me on social media? Put in the chat. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, on my podcast, Dan Lok Show. Put in the chat. You've read maybe one of my books, or you've seen one of my TEDx talks. Meaning you've been watching some of my videos and reading my posts, and you're familiar with my work. Good. Now, if you want to know more about me, I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing this training to talk about myself and things like that. You could probably do all your research on social media anyway. Just type Dan Lok in and you'll find me. Good. No distraction? Type in the chat and say, I am ready. Go ahead. So let me ask you a question. That's high income secret number one. What is the difference between a high income job versus a high income skill? Do you know someone who has been laid off recently? Do Do you know someone who has worked hard for a company, for a corporation, for years, or even decades, who got laid off? No fault of their own, because the company is going through corporate restructuring. Have you ever seen in the news that thousands of workers lost their jobs in a single day? How many have seen that before? Put in the chat. Yes? So what the hell is going on? What is going on? Here's why I believe the job economy is dying. There are three trends that are happening right now. Number one, the concept of a job, J-O-B, just over broke, was created to produce workers in the industrial age. When our parents, right, in the 90s, 1950s, and 1960s, and 1970s, our grandparents, working for corporation was the only game in town, right? Our grandparents, mostly members of the Great Depression generations, for whom jobs were considered luxuries. So the motto was born: work hard, get good grades, go to school, and get a job. This philosophy is obsolete and completely irrelevant to our generation. Times have changed, haven't they? Number two, full-time jobs are disappearing. Consider the number of corporations that went bankrupt in the 2000s. Remember that? Where the decisions of the field impact the livelihoods of the many. Give me some names, put in the chat. Lehman Brothers, Circuit City, General Motors, Enron. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Number three, full-time employees now have become the worker of last resort for many companies. Why? Because companies are eliminating the full-time jobs. There are layoffs, downsizing, or reorganizations. They're also taking previous full-time jobs and breaking them into smaller projects or tasks to be automated, outsourced, or contract. It is cheaper, more flexible, and more efficient. Let me give you an example. Uber. A company like Uber has spent more than $1 billion, that's with a B, billion dollars on driverless cars. So think about all the Uber drivers. When this happens, all of them will be out of work. Now, some people might be thinking, and you might be thinking, well, I can't be that bad, Dan. I could always get a job at McDonald's. Are you sure about that? McDonald's is also bringing automations, voice activation drive-thrus, and robotic deep fryers. Just think about that. In fact, let me ask you this. Have you seen this before? How many of you have seen those self-serving kiosks in McDonald's? Why do they have those? Can you see that they are steadily training customers to buy on their own and then cutting back on what? Cutting back the number of cashiers that they need. Because of technology, a lot of functions that require a lot of people now require fewer or require no employees. Let me ask you another question. Do you think, take a guess, McDonald's will be the only one who uses automation? Do you think Uber would be the only one that uses automation? Put in the chat. Do you think all the companies in various industries would follow and this would become a norm, an industry standard? Right? So let me ask you a question. What is going to happen to our JOB, our job market? Millions will lose their jobs. You might be thinking, well, Dan, that's just like maybe the lower level job, entry level minimum wage jobs. It's not going to happen to me. I'm a professional. AI will transform 500 million white-collar jobs in 5 years. You may be thinking, I'm a professional. I'm self-employed. I'm an engineer. I'm an accountant. I'm a realtor. I'm a financial planner. that maybe it won't affect you. And maybe it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. But just what if? What if it does? Let's pretend it does. Do you think the disruption, the change, will happen very, very slowly or quickly? Put in the chat. So how do you recession-proof your income? How do you AI-proof your career? How do you protect yourself and your family's financial future? How do you not just survive, but thrive in these uncertain times? Would you like to learn how to do that? Put in the chat. Say yes. So I ask you the question, do you know the difference between a high-income job versus a high-income skill? What's the difference? Let's see. Freedom, yes. Flexibility, yes. Mobility, yes. Work when you want, yes. How much you get paid is up to you, yes. You go into different industry, yes. Now all those are very, very good answers. All those are very, very good answers. So think about this. When you get your first job, now maybe at McDonald's or Burger King or whatever it might be. My first job was working actually at a supermarket making minimum wage as a grocery bagger. You know, the one who bags your groceries at a checkout counter. That was my job. It was the only job I've ever had. It was very simple. I gave them 40 hours and they gave me a paycheck, right? And by the way, is your income keeping up with inflation? Put in the chat. The same dollar that you earn today compared to 10 years ago, could you buy more things with it or less? Right? That's a whole other lesson I won't get into today. But first, let's talk about how your job is killing you. Number one, no control over how you spend your time. No control over how you spend your time. If you want to, could you say, go back to work and tell your boss and tell your supervisor and say, hey, you know what? I don't feel like coming to work today. Or, you know what? I don't want to work 8 hours today, right? I want to work, 4 hours, 6 hours. You have no freedom or flexibility. Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday, right? Number three, your boss doesn't pay you for what you're worth, no matter how hard you work. Put in the chat, how many of you think of this? Heck, they don't even pay you for what you need. I don't mean just like paying you for what you want. I mean just paying you enough so you can survive. How many of you have 2 jobs? Put in the chat. 2 jobs. How many of you have 3 jobs? So why do you have 2 jobs? Why do you have 3 jobs? Is it because you want to? Or because the one job that you have isn't paying you enough for what you need? Forget what you want, just what you need. Basic necessities of survival. Right? Number 4, office politics. Toxic workers, co-workers, drama, BS. When I was making minimum wage in the supermarket, I remember my boss. He's just a piece of work, so he's an ass. Right? How many of you have had bad, cruel, incompetent, crazy manager? Well, I had one. And that was the only job I've ever had in my life. I've never worked for anyone else since then. Number 5, the commute. Getting stuck in traffic, right? The long hours, the lack of growth, very little vacation time. Put in the chat, how many of you could relate to some of these things? You know what's worse? You know what's worse? You make little to no money. You never get ahead financially. You are lucky if you don't even dig yourself in a hole. You're lucky if you don't get yourself further in debt, right? I mean, if that might be okay, if you suck it up if you actually have a high income job. But for some, I know, you don't even have a high income job and you have to deal with these bullshit. Right? How many of you have to deal with all this bullshit? Not even with a high income job, but with a low income job. Right? If you have a low income job, this sucks even more, doesn't it? You multiply the suckiness, that's even worse. Misery. Here's what I believe. Most people don't have income problem, write it down. They have a skill problem. I'll say that one more time. Most people, they don't have an income problem, they have a skill problem. There are two ways to make money. One is called time for money, which most people are very familiar with. You're exchanging a certain number of your hours for a paycheck. Let's just say 40 hours, right? You give them 40 hours, they give you a paycheck. You see, most people spend their entire lives trying to get more money for doing the same thing. You want to get 40 hours, but you want to get a bigger paycheck. Well, why would someone give you a bigger paycheck if you're going to give them the same thing, which is 40 hours? How many of you would like to know how to double your income next month? Put a check. Seriously, how many of you seriously would like to double your income next month? Yes? Here's the answer. Go out there, you get a second job. Doing exactly the same thing what you're doing right now in your first job. Now, would that work? Except what? You will have to work harder and have less time. So if you want to make more money, give them more time. Now, if you say, Dan, no, I don't want to do that, because I know a lot of people who have 2 or 3 jobs, and it's not to become wealthy, it's just to break even. So time for money. There's another method of earning money. It's called skill for money. Instead, you learn what works. Learn why you don't have to give them extra time if you can give them extra skill, more skills. Let me give you an example. A brain surgeon gives a certain amount of time and gets a bigger paycheck than a family doctor. Why? Because his skill is more valuable, it's highly valuable in the marketplace. So here's what it means. You want high income, you need more high income skills. Put in the chat. Who likes the idea of getting paid more, putting in the same amount of time? Who likes the idea of getting paid more and actually work less? You see, you have to understand something here, that in the skill economy, jobs no longer pays the bills. Skills pays the bills. What pays the bills? What pays the bills? Skills. Real estate investors go out there and say, I am going to use my investing or negotiation skills to buy a house, to fix it up, and then I'm going to sell it for a profit. Skills for money. Entrepreneurs go out there and say, hey, I'm going to build a business and offer a product to the marketplace. Skills for money. Salespeople go out there and say, I'm going to close a high ticket deal and earn a commission. Skills for money. Are you getting it? Now I know that I'm already saying things that are contrary to what you have been told all your life. And it's not your fault that you don't know these things, because you spend a lot of your time in the classroom. Not only did you spend most of the first part of your life in the miseducational and misdirectional system that doesn't teach you anything about financial literacy and high income skills. Say with me, what you learn is more important than what you earn. One more time. What you learn is far more important than what you earn. Paychecks come and go. but wasted time is gone forever. Rather than wasting time, money, resources on sending out resumes or working in dead-end jobs to make ends meet, when is it a good time for you to invest your energy to develop your high-income skills? You see, I understand because I am. I was born in Hong Kong. This is my mom and dad. That's me in the middle. I immigrated in North America years ago with no money, no connections, and not a word of the English language on my lips. This was me in high school. You can see my body language, how shy I was. I remember I was that invisible kid sitting in the very back of the classroom. Never asked any questions, never put up my hand, because I lacked confidence. Because of the language barrier, I had very little friends. See, this photo was taken during the prom. Everyone had a date, except me, because no one would date me. This is my English teacher. Let me ask you this. Put in a check. Let me know. How many of you are an introvert? How many of you are an extrovert? I'm actually an ambivert, meaning that I'm an introvert by nature. I could stay in my room, not talk to anyone for a whole day, just by myself, or I could talk to people that I trust and feel comfortable with for hours. I could also present on stage and speak to thousands of people. What I'm about to share with you will work for you. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert, extrovert, or like myself, you're an ambivert. If you are an introvert, you can do this from the comfort of your own home or anywhere in the world without talking to anybody. If you are an extrovert, meaning that you like to work with and talk to other people, it means naturally you already have these qualities. And I'm just gonna give you a couple key things to help you leverage your natural abilities. If you are an ambivert like me, then you've got the best of both worlds. At the time when I was struggling, this was the only asset that I had, a white Ford Escort sedan with 150,000 miles on it. In fact, recently I made a video on YouTube. If you type in Dan Lok Supercar, don't do it now, but do it after the training, you'll see that I bought back the exact same model that I used to have to put in my garage as a reminder of where I came from. If you could imagine going to a new country where you don't speak the language. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of self-confidence. I wasn't one of those people that was born to do some great or wonderful things, that had big dreams, that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna achieve this, I'm gonna achieve that. I wasn't one of those people. And I wasn't one of those people who know all the right people in all the right places. I didn't know anything. And I wasn't one of those people that had great talents. I was what my teacher would say, average intelligence, where I was a C student or a B student. I barely passed all my courses. So I wasn't one of those students that had a good education, that had a good resume. In fact, I dropped out of college. I never went to university, right? I don't have my degree. This was me. I always remember this photo with my spiky hair, pimple face, glasses. This was right after I lost more money in another business when I took this photo. And my friend was nice enough to give me a ticket to this boat cruise because I couldn't even afford to buy the ticket. He wanted to make me feel better, lift my spirits again. So I know how depressing it is to have shrinking bank accounts and mounting debts. I was where you are right now, confused, evil, disappointed, scared, unfulfilled, feeling stuck, feeling trapped, and ready for something more. And it was at the lowest point of my life that I discovered the concept of a high income skill. I define high income skill as a skill that could make you $10,000 or more a month. Basically, a six-figure income. It's not a job. It's not a job. It is a skill set that you offer to the marketplace in exchange of money. You are trading your skills, your expertise, your knowledge for money. I'll give you some examples of high income skills in just a moment. But for now, let me dive into this just a little bit deeper, because it's very critical that you understand the difference between a high income job versus a high income skill. Does that sound good? Put in the chat. Why a high income skill is your best option? Reason number one, low cost of entry. How many of you have ever owned a retail business before? Put in the chat. And how much did it cost you to start that retail business? Put in the chat. So when considering the cost to buy a well-known franchise, you're looking at a startup cost of about $150,000. Or you're thinking of starting a retail business, you need a loan for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But with a high income skill, once you learn it, you can make money with it forever. It is yours to keep. Reason number two, set your own schedule. You have complete control over your schedule. You don't have to get your schedule approved by your supervisor. You don't have to keep track of your sick or vacation days to request some time off. No timesheets, no overtime. You schedule your own hours. You no longer have to show up at a certain time and be restricted in what you do over the course of a typical workday. You decide how hard you work and when. How many of you are a night owl? And you work well at night? Put in the chat. Good, you could do that. Leaving your days free of your favorite leisure activities. If you like to start your day early, right? You can start the day at, let's say, 6 a.m. and finish by early afternoon. Then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you feel like doing. Go golfing, play tennis, play with the kids, shop. It's entirely up to you. No boss is watching, and there's no time. There's no time clock to punch. How many of you like that idea? Put in the chat. Reason number three. You're not limited to where you have to work. You can choose to work anywhere you want. You can work on your laptop from anywhere in the world. You can work from home and involve your kids. You see, I believe in our culture, we place so much value on spending time with your kids, going to the soccer game, going to the dance recital. Why not involve your kids with your work? Isn't that a better way to teach them? With the kids around you, they see what you do and how you do it. I cannot think of a better way to instill good work ethic in your children. Reason number four, no product creation, no inventory, and no service delivery. You don't need to create products. You don't need to deliver services, nor programs. You don't need to buy inventory or try to get products from China and try to sell them on Amazon, things like that. Reason number five, you can get results fast. No one's going to judge your capabilities off of your work history or the amount of time you stay with or were fired from a particular job. There's no discrimination between man, woman, age, race, right? Doesn't matter. Everyone is on a level playing field and all have the same opportunity to succeed, thrive, and excel. A high income skill is a skill that once you have it, you put your financial destiny squarely in your own hands for as long as you want to use it. You completely get to determine your future. Reason number 6, no income ceiling. If you want to double, triple your income, yes, you can do that. You're in charge of how much you want to work, earn, and achieve with your high income skill. No one, I mean no one, can tell you what you're worth. When you grow, your income grows. So the faster you learn, the faster you earn. How many of you like that idea? Put a check. Reason number 7, stack on your success. Unlike a job, your success is not necessarily transferable, especially when you change industries. You work for a certain industry, you have a lot of experience. When you change industries, because that industries may not be around anymore. You can use it to turn your hobby or personal passion into a fun, lucrative career. You can use it, you can use your skill to start your own business for practically nothing. Work in a field you've always dreamed of. You can also combine, this is what's very exciting, combine multiple high income skills to create multiple streams of income, or just one big, large income. Put in the chat, who likes the idea of stacking your success? Put in the chat, let me know. Reason number 5, become a better version of yourself. A high income skill includes so many areas of your life, beyond than just earning money. When you develop your high income skills, other people look forward to working with you and being around you. You become the person that helps others, encourages others, and helps others get what they want out of life. Put in the chat, how many would like to help others? Can you see the power of having a high income skill? Say yes. High income secret number 2. Opportunity seeker versus opportunity maker. Back in the gold rush, 1849, there were 2 groups of people. The first group of people are gold miners. They are the ones who want to strike it rich by mining gold. They would put in a lot of money, buy all the tools, and take on a lot of risk, buy all the equipment. They were trying to find the perfect site, and hire a lot of people, and working tirelessly. They were hoping to and praying to find gold and strike it rich. But only a small percentage did find gold, but a majority of them failed. Even the ones who did find gold, it wasn't worth the effort or the risk. The second group of people are the shovel sellers. They became very, very wealthy by selling the tools, by selling the equipment, by selling the shovels to the gold miners. Now you may be thinking, well Dan, what has some shovel sellers and miners back in 1894, what does that have to do with increasing my income? You see, like the gold miners, I was an opportunity seeker, more like an opportunity junkie. I had the shiny object syndrome. How many of you, be honest with me? Put in the chat, how many of you have shiny object syndrome? You know what I'm talking about. I was jumping from one thing to another. How many of you have tried some of these ways to make money? Amazon, dropshipping, MLM, digital currency, e-commerce, SEO, right? Search engine optimization, social media agency, mobile ads, reselling stuff, affiliate marketing, consulting or coaching, blogging or blogging. You see, an opportunity seeker is always looking to make money, lots of money, from the hot opportunity of the moment. I was guilty of that. Their only criteria is, can I make money from this? Can I make money doing this? So today's Amazon, Tomorrow is drop shipping. You know, it's the next day is something else, right? Yesterday was some other concept that already forgot about it. Opportunity seekers, they buy lots of quick fix, get rich quick opportunities and programs, and they use only a few of them. And the ones they do use get abandoned with the next so-called easy way to make money comes by. See, the question they ask themselves is this: what is the easiest way for me to make money right now? Those are gold miners. Those are the ones who jump from one thing to another, wasting years of their life, their time, failing again and again, and never making any real money, never making any real progress. And again, I was like that too. I was an opportunity seeker. And nothing changed in my life until I went from opportunity seeker, being an opportunity seeker, to becoming an opportunity maker. This was me. In my early 20s, I was struggling financially. I was lost. I started and failed at 13 businesses. 13 businesses. I've lost all my mom's money. I've maxed out my credit cards. I've borrowed as much as I could from family and friends. I hit rock bottom. I didn't know if I could keep going. There was no hope coming from anywhere. I couldn't see a way out. I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the day, I've attended the seminars. Something was missing. You know what I realized? I was asking myself the wrong question. I was focusing on the wrong things. The question shouldn't be, what is the easiest way to make money right now? That question got me to death. That question failed. That question disappointed my family. Instead, I asked myself one question, one single question that changed my life forever. Would you like to know what that question is? I asked myself, what is the one high-income skill that I could develop today that will free me from financial struggles and worries forever? What is the one high-income skill that I could develop today that will free me from financial struggles and worries forever? I asked myself, what is the one high-income skill that I could develop today that will free me from financial struggles and worries forever? That's when I found my first mentor. His name is Alan. He was the founder of the largest real estate investment network in Canada back in the days. When I met Alan, he said to me, Dan, I'm going to give you a skill that's about to transform your financial life forever. It's a special skill that very few people in the world understand and possess. Once you master this skill, you'll never, ever have to worry about money again. You have the power to generate income on demand and start, launch, or grow any business you desire. I said, yes, please teach me. I'm going to give you the skill of copywriting. I said, what is that? What is copywriting? I thought it has to do with like intellectual property or trademark or patent or something. I thought you want me to be a lawyer? Like, what is this? He said, no. Copywriting is words that get you money. At the time, I had no idea what that meant. But now I realize that copywriting is closing in print. It is the ability to get people to say yes with your written words. See, closing is the ability to get people to say yes with your verbal, right? With on the phone or in person, verbal communication. Right? Copywriting is the ability to get people to say yes with your written words. What do I mean by that? Have you ever written text to your friend? Have you ever done that? Put in a chat. Have you ever made an Instagram post? Have you ever made a Facebook post? Put in a chat. Have you ever sent an email to someone that you know, or in business, or at work? How about private message on Facebook? Or private message DM on Instagram? Well, guess what? You are a copywriter. You just didn't know people are already getting paid $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, even $10,000 a month writing simple short messages like these. You just didn't know. Let me prove to you. Now, here is, you see these two posts here? These two short posts here. Guess what? I paid someone $100 to write these two little short posts. Now, guess how long it took them to write these posts? About an hour. That means this person made $100 an hour. Now, that is if you're slow. But what if you could do these two posts in half an hour? That's $200 an hour. Right? Put in the chat. How many of you like to make $200 an hour without a degree or going back to school? Do you see yourself doing this? Now you may be wondering, why do I pay this person $200 an hour? $100 an hour? Because these two short posts on Facebook may mean, you can see here, $3,000. Let's pretend you're a business person, you're an entrepreneur. Would you pay someone $200 if they could make you $3,000? Would you do that? Of course you would. And is it only Facebook posts? Where else? Where else would I pay someone $200 an hour? So let's crunch some numbers. Let's talk money. Can we talk about money? Is it okay if we talk about money? Let's say your client, not you, your client has an email list of 50,000 people. Because our entire system is based on you helping other businesses. So it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't matter if you don't have credibility. It doesn't matter if you don't have a product. It doesn't matter if you don't have a list. It doesn't matter if you don't have a website. Your client has an email list of 50,000. Whenever they send an email to that list, they make $3,000. Now, by the way, 50,000 people, that's pretty average. Right? $3,000, that's also pretty average. So, they send 10 emails a month, and they make $30,000 a month on average. And let's say you come in as a copywriter and you help them and say, hey, you're doing 10 emails a month, but what if you do an email every day? You write a daily email for them. What kind of email? Daily to the list. So instead of 10 emails per month they were sending before, now we're sending how many? Put in the chat, how many? 30. You with me? 30. That means they were making $30,000 a month before, but with your help, they are now making $90,000 a month, an extra $60,000 a month. That's an extra $60,000 a month they weren't making before because they didn't know how to or didn't have the time to do it. Now, how happy do you think your client is now? You just transformed their business and their life because you made them an extra $60,000 a month. You are the silent ringmaker, right? You're the ones who makes it rain behind the scenes. Do you think they would have any problem at all paying you $3,000 a month if they make an extra $60,000 a month? You know the best part? That daily email you wrote took you only 30 minutes. Just think about it. It means you make a full-time income working half hour a day. How many of you are willing to put in 30 minutes a day to do this? Put in the chat. If you have 30 minutes a day, right? If you only work 30 minutes a day, what would you prefer? Let me ask you this. Would you do it in the morning? Would you do it in the maybe afternoon nap? Would you do it in the evening after you've had dinner with your family? Put in the chat. Or if you're more like me, are you one of those people that if I want to get it done, right, I want to write all the emails in one single day and just take the rest of the month off? Put in the chat if you're one of those all get it done right now in one day type people. Put in the chat. Here's how it works. This is the half-hour workday model. This is very exciting. Half an hour a day. One email a day. How many email? One email a day. One client. $3,000 a month times 12 months. That's $36,000 a year with no business expense, with no product, no service delivery. No product creation, and no more than 30 minutes a day. No inventory. That's just one client. And I know 36,000 is not a lot of money, but that's a full-time income. Who likes that idea? But here's what gets very exciting. Let's say you get pretty good at this, and you say, Dan, you know what? I'm ambitious. I want to make money. I don't mind extra work. I'm doing a lot of extra work without getting paid a lot of money anyway. I don't mind putting in a couple more hours. And you say to me, I want to take on more clients. And instead of working with one client, and you say, I'll work with 3 clients. So you have 3 clients in total. Now you still have no business expense. You're not running ads. You're not doing cold calling. You're not building websites. You're not buying inventory. The only thing you're doing is writing the emails. Each client, let's say, is worth $3,000 a month. I have students who actually make $5,000, $10,000 a month. But let's say I want to use conservative number, $3,000. And that's $9,000 a month income. Let's do the math. $9,000 times 12 months equals $108,000 a year. Wow. Now, what if you spend more than an hour and a half? Let's say you're a little bit slow. You're getting started, right? You spend actually twice as much time. You spend actually 3 hours a day doing this. Is it okay to work 3 hours a day and make $108,000? And what if your client actually pays you $5,000 a month? Let's say your skill gets a little bit better. Instead of $3,000 a month. Can you see how you can make a full-time income doing part-time work? And you can do this from the comfort of your own home. You could do this to supplement your current income. Is this making sense? Put in the chat. And there is so much demand. Look at this one. Looking for copywriter. E-commerce copywriter needed. We're looking to bring a copywriter on board who's experienced in writing persuasive on-brand emails for e-commerce stores. Copywriter needed. Less than 10 hours a week. Attention, financial copywriters, right? If you can write kick-ass copy that converts, and you can write it for a publisher that will actually run your copy and pay you massive royalties as well, we should talk, right? Here's another one, a 9-figure company that's hiring VSL, means video sales letters, copywriters, and paying them $5,000. Can you see this? $30,000 per script. Right? A keto offer owner who is paying $100 and $250 per email. We're not even per month, we're talking per email. For a long, that means multiple, right? They need a lot of them for long autoresponder sequence. Here's another one, 2 brands, one e-commerce and one packaged goods that both need about us and story written for between $500 and $1,000 for like 300 words of copy. 300 words of copy. So why companies are paying you big bucks is very simple. They need you. Businesses need you. There is an insatiable demand for good copy. There's a shortage of people with this new in-demand high income skill. How do I know? Because I can't find enough good copywriters myself. I need copywriters. And they're happy to pay you top dollars if you can write copy for them. You have to understand this, that the way you control the game is you control the rain. As a copywriter, as a high income copywriter, you are the silent rainmaker. Who likes to be the rainmaker? Put in a chat. And what does this mean to you? It means this. You'll never have to worry about your job security or rely on others for your future, for your livelihood. No matter what state the economy is in, you will be in big demand. When the economy is good, businesses, they need copywriters. When the economy is bad, they need more copywriters because we are the ones that can make it right. You could earn a very impressive income from home, writing a few hours a day from anywhere in the world that you choose to live. Warning, by the way, don't say I don't warn you. Your neighbors might actually think you're taking early retirement because they won't see you commuting to work anymore. This is a profession that you'll be very proud to mention to your friends and the people that you meet. Believe me, people will be very intrigued when you tell them what you actually do. They'll want to know, right? Because think about it, who sits at home, just tap away at a keyboard or for half an hour a day and produce an impressive income out of thin air? Would your family be impressed? Put in the chat. It's also an opportunity to start a new chapter in your life. Leave your past behind and create a fresh start for yourself and your family, and develop a high income skill that will reward you for life. Using my high income skill, my copywriting skill, through text messages and email, and that's how I met my wife. Right? I closed her with my copywriting skill to go out with me in the first place, and eventually married me. She's my best friend and my business partner, Jenny, and we've been together. Jenny and I have been together now 12 years. We've been together 8 years dating, and then married 4. Now, disclaimer, by the way, I'm not saying that copywriting will get you a hot date and improve your sex life or anything like that, right? Disclaimer. I'm simply saying that you never know where your copywriting skill will take you if you are creative about it, okay? High income secret number 3. You don't need to be an expert at copywriting. Let me share a story with you. This is Ed. Ed came to me when he was 16 years old. He has ADHD, so it means he wasn't very interested in school, and it just didn't fit in. He reminded me of myself when I was young, and he asked me, "Hey Dan, can you teach me? Can you mentor me? I really want to be successful. I'll do whatever it takes. I just need some help. I'm just lost." And I said to him exactly what Alan said to me. I'm going to give you a skill that will transform your life forever. I gave him the skill of high income copywriting. in less than a year and was making $4,500 a month as a 17-year-old. 17-year-old in high school. High school. He accomplished that with no degree, no experience, no prior skills. Because what experience could you have at 17 years? But there's more to it. When I saw his skill set, when I saw he was practicing, when I saw that he was able to, what he was able to do with copywriting, all the skill that I taught him, I invited him to join my team, Team Dan Lok, and he now writes for me full time. He is without a doubt a successful high-income copywriter, and this is why you don't need experience. You don't need to know anything about writing. If you don't have a journalism or writing background, good. I actually prefer that you don't, so I don't have to correct you all your bad habits. We provide you with the templates, checklists, samples, and provide you with feedback to make sure you master your new high-income skill. I'm going to show you how to get that one high-paying client as well, or more if you're ambitious. What about English? Is English not your first language? Good, because English is not my first language either. Remember, I flunked English twice when I was in high school. Here's something to understand. Copywriting has nothing to do with academic writing. In fact, it breaks a lot of the traditional writing rules, because if copywriting is about academic writing, then all the English teachers, they would all be high-paying copywriters. But they're not. There are very specific strategies of how this is done. I'll teach you how to be a high-in-demand, high-income copywriter without all the trial and error. If you can write the way you talk, you're on your way to becoming a high-income copywriter. Put in the chat, can you write the way you talk? Remember, copywriters, we are paid well, not because we are creative or smart or witty. We are paid well because our copy makes money. It's that simple. You are paid well because your copy makes companies, entrepreneurs, businesses money. And whoever can make it rain controls the game. And it's easier, much easier than you think. So you now know the danger of relying on a job, why it is absolutely essential for your financial future to develop a high-income skill, and why high-income copywriting is one of the most high-paying and most in-demand professions in the world, and the power of the half-hour day high-income copywriter model. I've taught you that. You now also know why you don't need to be an expert at copywriting in order to get started now. So why am I sharing all these secrets with you? Why don't I just keep them to myself? What's the catch? Because there's always a catch, right? It's actually very simple. I'm known as the influencer for influencers. I'm a social media influencer and a global educator. Because of my social media reach, entrepreneurs and companies, they come to me all the time asking for help in growing their companies, growing their businesses. They ask me, Dan, how can I get more sales? Dan, how can I get more customers? Dan, how can I scale my revenue? What do I need to do? And I always ask them, what are you doing now? And they will tell me what they're doing. And guess what? It turns out 9 out of 10, they're not doing enough. I tell them, you need to send more emails. You need to do more social media posts. You need to stand out.
خلاص يا اسطى، والله انا العب لك ساعة يا اسطى.